We were extremely privileged to be invited by AmaWaterways to spend a week cruising the Lower Danube.
Where are we, Rich?
We're in Bucharest, Romania. Starting in Bucharest and wrapping up in Budapest, the trip, called the Gems of Southeast Europe, promised 7 stops in 5 countries and plenty of eye-popping Eastern European scenery and 5-star hospitality. Now you might be thinking, why bother with the Lower Danube? No Vienna, no Bratislava, no Passau? What's the appeal? Fair question, but trust us, this stretch of Europe's most iconic river has its own unique magic, and we're here to show you exactly why it deserves a spot on your travel list, and why you should explore it on board the largest river ship in Europe, the absolutely stunning AmaMagna. Ready to see what all the fuss is about? Stay tuned. After flying in the day we boarded, which is not our usual habit, or something we'd recommend, but the ship was staying overnight in Bucharest, we had just enough time for a quick cocktail in the lounge and a chat with the captain. Then it was off to the main dining room for dinner. To our delight, there were plenty of tables for 2, a win for couples craving a little privacy after a long travel day. And after surviving on plain snacks and empty calories all day, that first meal, pure heaven. By the morning, the ship had quietly made its way from Golubac, Romania, to Rus, Bulgaria, our first real stop on this adventure. And that, dear friends, is where the story truly begins. Let's go. Well, good morning from AmaMagna.
Yes, and today we are docked in Rus in Bulgaria. So we boarded yesterday in Golubac, which is literally just up the river.
You can't see Golubac, but it's over there.
You can see it in the background.
So
it's about 2 kilometres away on the other side of the river.
Golubac, which they technically call Bucharest, which is not Bucharest. It's an hour outside of Bucharest. It's a bit like the Civitavecchia Rome thing, isn't it? So we've got a bit of a coach journey today, because today we're going back to Bucharest.
So we flew into Bucharest yesterday and we're going back today for a full day's tour.
The weather looks great,
yep.
So we're all togged up and ready to go. But it's a full day tour. It's going to be a whole 9 hours, and we join the ship later on down the river a little bit before we start sailing tonight. So we haven't really had a chance to look at the ship at all since we've been here. But today we're going to have a full day out, which is not something we normally do, is it? We normally like to keep short excursions.
Yeah, but we want to go and see Bucharest.
But we need to go and see Bucharest because it's a brand new city for us, and we want to show you what Bucharest is like. With most passengers having already spent a couple of days exploring Bucharest, the majority opted for the included excursion to the Bulgarian city of Veliko Tarnovo. That just left 3 other guests joining us for the trip back to Bucharest, and a coach that we could have played hide and seek in. The Friendship Bridge has been joining Bulgaria to Romania since 1954, long before toll booths became everyone's favourite border feature. With AmaWaterways, excursions are included in your fare, so no need to stress about pre-booking. Even if only a handful of guests sign up, the show goes on, because why let a good tour guide and a massive coach go to waste? Our Bucharest city tour kicked off with a visit to the Palace of the Parliament, a colossal monument to ambition, or ego, depending on your perspective. It's the 2nd largest administrative building in the world, right after the Pentagon, and it's about as subtle as a Romanian shot putter. Next, we headed for the Royal Palace for a peek at its fascinating surroundings. The palace features the former communist headquarters and the balcony where Nicolae Ceausescu gave his final speech before his dramatic fall from power. December the 21st, 1989 was a bad day for dictators, but a great Christmas present for the long-suffering Romanians. Then it was off to the Old City, where a quick walking tour let us soak up Bucharest's eclectic charm. The architecture is a glorious patchwork of neoclassical Gothic, Baroque, Art Deco and Ottoman Byzantine styles, reflecting the city's colourful and at times chaotic history. French, German and Ottoman influences are all on display, creating a vibe that's part grand European elegance and part architectural eccentricity. But it's all 100% stunning. Like you say, they do like a dome. I would call it Gothic. Is it Gothic or Baroque? What do you think? Or is it Baroque or Brothic? Soon we dissolved our petite gathering and had some free time to get some lunch on our own. So we've got a little bit of free time to walk around, have a look, but we are going to ended up back at the restaurant that our guide recommends. We were given €50, 25 euros each for some lunch by the ship, which is an incredibly generous thing to do. Romania was, in fact, founded by Vlad the Impaler, no less. Yeah, I find that... why do you find that funny? Vlad the Impaler, that was his name. Mr. Impaler, they used to call him, or Sir Impaler. Funnily enough, they don't have any, Vlad the Impaler National Museum or Vlad the Impaler International Airport. For some reason, they're trying to keep that one under the carpet a little bit. The lunch is here.
Wow, let me get a pic.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that'll do. We've just come back to our room and look, we've got some presents. Some presents.
Wow.
Tell you what, that is a nice looking cap.
You've been sporting your one all day, haven't you?
Well, I've been wearing this one all day.
Yeah.
And much better quality. Look at that.
Oh, nice. Oh, this
What's
is
this
nice.
year's model?
This year's model is blue by the looks of things. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, AmaWaterways. So, good evening. We are at the Sip and Sail hour, which is like the happy hour on AmaWaterways, but it's even happier because all the drinks on this Sip and Sail menu are free, or complimentary, should I say. So here we are tonight in the alfresco, and we've got a lovely table for two, which is unusual because mostly tables for four, and the sun is setting over there. It's just incredible. Alfresco is a Mediterranean tapas-style informal restaurant located in the conservatory area in front of the lower lounge. The menu is anything but informal, with a dazzling and creative array of fine dining dishes, further enhanced by the ridiculously beautiful sun setting on the Danube in full view of our table. Perfect. Honestly, I'm not kidding you, tonight, the sunset, oh my gee. Isn't that amazing? What a wonderful evening. AmaMagna sailed through the night, and we woke up to a stunning sunrise as the Danube unfolded before us on our journey to Vidin. With a morning of scenic cruising ahead, we opted for a luxurious lie-in, flinging open the patio doors to bask in the views from bed. Lazy? Well, maybe. Glorious? Absolutely. Curious about our suite, the largest room we've ever had on a river ship? Check out the full tour at the end of this video. Well, good morning from the Danube.
Yes, we've finally set sail proper, and we've got a morning of sailing down the Danube this morning, so we've got a bit of a restful morning.
I know, as you can see, the weather is absolutely beautiful, and the Danube looks beautiful as well. And because we were out all day yesterday, it's just nice to, well, enjoy the ship while it's moving in such a beautiful area. So
we're due to arrive into Vidin just after lunch. At the moment, we're booked onto a tour where we're going to go to a local person's home, and they're going to show us how to make local Bulgarian pastries, and then we get to eat them.
Sounds great.
Why not?
See you soon.
See you when we get to Vidin.
Indeed. Up on the sun deck, the mood was equally relaxed. Guests were soaking up the sunshine, dabbling in pickleball, chatting with the captain in the wheelhouse, splashing in the pool, even learning the art of line dancing, or, like Helen here, perfecting the noble art of doing absolutely nothing. afternoon, we docked in Vidin, a town with an unenviable reputation, the poorest region in the poorest country in Europe. Its population has nearly halved since the collapse of communism, with a steady exodus of working-age adults seeking greener pastures. Fertility rates are also plummeting, and investors are steering clear because of a workforce that's packed up and left. The result? Vidin is in a grim economic tailspin. Suffice to say, we weren't expecting much from our excursion other than a scattering of moments of poignant sadness. But Vidin had a few surprises up its sleeve. Our afternoon excursion took us to a local home to learn how to make and devour banitsa, a traditional party delicacy. A short coach ride whisked us to Ramona's home in a nearby village, where she greeted us like long-lost relatives. Her kitchen became our culinary classroom as she and her family guided us through the art of banitsa making. Then it was our turn to roll, fold, and generally embarrass ourselves while Ramona's golden pastries emerged from the oven, piping hot for us to enjoy. Here comes the banitsa. Gonna have some Bulgarian yogurt. Do you give it a stir, or what do you do with it? It's actually really good. Really nice.
With spinach. Hey, where are you going, boy? And Sylvester Stallone with this big up. Thank you.
There may be few upsides to living in this region at present, but those that we met were full of resilient smiles and were so welcoming. This afternoon really left its mark on us all. River cruising is not just about the ship or the river. It's about experiencing life along its banks and the diversity of fortunes you encounter along the way. It can be heartbreaking and joyous at the same time. Back on board, we spruced up for cocktail hour, enhanced tonight by a traditional folklore performance from some of Vidin's talented young locals, proving that life here isn't all bad. What an uplifting start to the evening. Dinner was a lively affair at Jimmy's, a family-style sharing restaurant with a cool basement bar vibe. Seated at a table of 8, we dived into hearty platters of delicious food and even heartier conversation. The company was so engaging we forgot to film most of it. But don't worry, we managed to capture the starters and desserts for your viewing pleasure. All in all, Vidin turned out to be a lot more memorable than we ever expected. Just goes to show, even in a place facing tough times, there's beauty, resilience, and of course, banitsa. During the night, we passed through the first of the Iron Gate locks. And by 5:30 a.m, we entered the second lock, conveniently situated next to one of Europe's largest power stations. These locks aren't your average canal gates. They're split into 2 sections to manage the enormous water level difference, taking about an hour to navigate. It's like a slow-motion elevator ride, but for a ship. Once through, we entered one of the most breathtaking sections of the Danube. At the border of Romania and Serbia, perched on the river's rocky banks, is Europe's largest rock sculpture, the face of King Decebalus. Towering 55 metres tall, it's possibly the highlight of the whole Lower Danube, certainly one of the most photographed. Beneath it, a cryptic Latin inscription reads, Decebalus Rex, Dragon Fecit, or King Decebalus, made by dragon. King Decebalus, the last ruler of Dacia, is a national hero, celebrated for his fierce resistance against the Roman Empire. Cutting a long story short, Iosif Constantin Dragan, at the time Romania's richest man, commissioned the sculpture and funded its creation. Over a decade, a team of 12 sculptors chiseled away at the rock using dynamite, hammers, and sheer determination. There was no heavy machinery allowed. From a distance, the sculpture looks flawless, but up close, it's about 60% complete. Whether that was due to budget constraints, time, or Dragan's advancing age — he was 77 when the project began — we'll never know. 4 years after calling the work done, Dragan passed away, and the unfinished details remain untouched. Still, Finished or not, the Face of Disabilis is a monumental achievement and one that will be enjoyed by river cruisers from all over the world for centuries to come. Meanwhile, as we gawped at this colossus, our captain was busy earning his paycheck, skillfully steering us through some of the narrowest and most challenging parts of the Danube. With such spectacular scenery, lunch practically demanded an upgrade. We opted for the alfresco restaurant, where we savoured burgers, pizza and ice-cold beers while soaking in the jaw-dropping views. Who needs a fine dining room when nature's throwing visual Michelin stars at your eyes? Beautiful view for our lunch, absolutely beautiful. And that's Serbia on the left and Romania on the right, is that correct?
Yes.
I've ordered a cheeseburger and Helen's got a pizza. That pizza looks delicious. Cheers, honey. Cheers. It had to be done. It's the cake. The day's only excursion was a late afternoon visit to Golubac Fortress, marking our first stop in Serbia. Welcome to Serbia. As you can see, we're at the fortress, the Golubac Fortress, and all the guides are really fancily dressed, aren't they, honey? We've got to find our group. Here we are, yellow group. Did she just mention snakes?
Yeah. I just walked through that little bit of grass there to get round the path.
Helen's biggest thing is snakes. And we've just been warned there might be snakes in the grass.
Venomous snakes in the grass.
Venomous snakes. Just beyond our ship is the widest part of the Danube. It's 6.5 kilometres wide. And this morning we went through the narrowest part of the Danube, which was 150 metres wide. Built in the 14th century by the medieval Serbian state, the fortress is a masterclass in defensive architecture. Its 10 towers are deliberately disconnected to thwart attackers, a strategy that's seen it repel over 120 assaults. While I look at the AmaMagna through this slot. There she is. Golubac has endured centuries of battles, particularly between the Ottoman Empire and the Kingdom of Hungary. But now it's a peaceful tourist hotspot and one of Serbia's most visited attractions, proving that even war-torn strongholds can enjoy a well-deserved retirement. Our brief visit gave us just enough time to scale a couple of smaller towers, swing by the visitor centre for some local Serbian cheese and bread, and wash it all down with some wine. What the guide was saying is apparently that tower is not supposed to be in the water, but since they built the dam, nearly 100 miles away, did she say? 100 kilometres, something like that. The water has risen so high that the entire bottom floor of the castle is submerged. What's Helen doing now? What is she doing?
Wait there, let me take a picture.
Oh dear, tourists.
Cheese, Ira and wine we're having.
Cheese what?
Ira.
What's Ira?
I don't know, she did explain, but I was sort of distracted by you. Oh my word!
What is Ira?
Oh my goodness.
Well, this is interesting.
This is a bit special.
Well, this looks nice, isn't it?
It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Fill your boots, hun.
Well,
Tell you what, I like the goat cheese.
Probably try a couple of them. This is goats. It's cheap. The
We'll try a bit of the wine, I think. All right, let's sit down, shall we? Should we go over here? Look, there's some cushions over here. Look at this. Look, we've got VIP seats. Oh, no, I like this. This is a good thing, isn't it? So,
Wow.
well, there you go.
I've had worse Wednesdays, it has to be said.
There you go. Bon appetit.
Thank you.
We've got
Cheers.
bread and cheese from Serbia.
I don't know how you got red and white.
I made a mistake.
Yeah, you've got too many hands.
Oh, it's amazing how many hands you can grow
when
there's wine on
when there's wine on
when
the
there's free
table.
wine on the table.
Yeah.
Back on the ship, as we set sail towards Belgrade, Serbia's lively capital, there was a special French menu in the main restaurant, and we were treated to the most delicious meal we've had so far, accompanied by some tasty French wines. Here's a small montage of what we enjoyed because, well, the chefs need to be applauded in the only way we know how: clean plates and a visual record of their culinary artistry. The evening entertainment came courtesy of the talented No Boundaries duo, who treated us to a fantastic performance. Between the locks, fortresses, giant faces in rock and live music, this day had everything. Well, except maybe a spa break for our hard-working captain. Well, good morning from Belgrade in Serbia. And we've got a special guest with us today, the AmaMagna's sister ship. And she's coming to dock alongside us because some very special guests coming on board today. The co-founder of AmaWaterways and the person that the Ama Christina was named after, Kristen Cast. She's coming on today. I always think of the Eurovision Song Contest when anyone mentions Belgrade, because that's basically as much as I know about the place. But today we're going to find out more. Helen's just finishing off getting ready, and so I thought I'd come out in the sunshine, see what's what, have a look at the ship. We've actually got the AmaBella next to us, so we've got two AmaWaterways ships side by side today, which is lovely. And yeah, we're going to go and find out a little bit more about Belgrade. We've got a city tour coming up, so we've got to get in a coach. It'll be about an hour in a coach and about an hour on foot, so we should see most of the good stuff. So I'll give you our impressions of Belgrade. In the meantime, oh, here she comes. Good morning.
Take my jumper back, it's so warm.
It is warm, isn't it?
Yeah.
We are now going into Belgrade.
Yes. What colour are we?
We're orange.
I think you said that's Channel 6.
Channel 6.
But I can't quite remember. Anyway, we're ready to go.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Well, our cruise director was saying that they always try and find the best coaches. Well, I've got to say, they've done a pretty good job of it so far, haven't they? Perched at the confluence of the Sava and Danube rivers, Belgrade Fortress Park is not just a historical landmark, but the beating heart of the Serbian capital. With origins tracing back to the 2nd century AD, this fortress has witnessed centuries of battles, empires, and cultural shifts. Originally built by the Romans, it's been destroyed and rebuilt countless times by the Byzantines, Ottomans, Hungarians, and Serbs. One thing humanity couldn't destroy, however, is these breathtaking panoramic views. After a visit to the park, we headed back into town to a church that didn't look much from the outside, to be fair. But as soon as we stepped inside, I was absolutely shocked at how beautiful it was. The Church of St. Sava is dedicated to St. Sava, the founder of the Serbian Orthodox Church. It's one of the largest Orthodox churches in the world. Construction began in 1935 on the site where it's believed the Ottomans burned St. Sava's relics in 1595 as an act of suppression. However, its progress was repeatedly delayed by wars and political upheavals, with the church only reaching full structural completion in 2004. The interior spans 3,500 square metres and can accommodate over 10,000 worshippers. The truly magnificent mosaic-covered ceiling, completed in 2017, features a giant Christ Pantocrator, an iconic and ancient depiction of Jesus portraying him as the world's sovereign ruler, doing the legendary two-fingered salute. I wonder if that's where Ringo Starr got his inspiration. The ceiling has an astonishing statistic. It's made from over 50 million individual tiles, crafted by Russian and Serbian artists. Whether you're a person of faith or not, it's a visually arresting sight and the definite highlight of our day in Serbia's capital. But the fascinating places didn't stop there. After the church, we headed back through the city to the rather fun Tesla Museum. And no, it's not a museum full of electric cars and portraits of Elon Musk. The Nikola Tesla Museum is a treasure trove dedicated to one of history's greatest inventors and visionaries. Opened in 1955, the museum honours the life and work of Nikola Tesla, the Serbian-American genius who revolutionised the modern world with his contributions to electricity and magnetism. The museum is home to some of Tesla's most famous inventions, including working models of his induction motor and Tesla coil, which visitors can see in action during interactive demonstrations. Tesla himself is here, and his urn containing his ashes is also on display. He was one of humankind's genuine geniuses, and it still blows my mind at how he discovered the things he did back then. A highlight for many and the source of much laughter is the chance to experience Tesla's visionary ideas firsthand, such as wireless energy transfer and high-frequency electricity. Honestly, that didn't hurt a bit. But with our morning tour over, we decided to head back to the ship for a quick lunch in the main dining room. We're in the dining room for a spot of lunch. So we've just come back from our Belgrade tour, and we're just going to have an early lunch, and then we're going to head out again because the city centre's really close. So it's quite nice just to have a quick walk in, see the things that we didn't see on our tour. Today, I think we're going to have the sandwich of the day, which is the mini unpronounceable. It's a pita bread based thing. And then I might have the chocolate slice, the banana chocolate slice. Okay, so we just had lunch, and as you can see, it's a beautiful day. We are going to go have a quick walk into the centre, maybe go to Hotel Moscow, grab a crafty bit of cake. What is this? It's Belgrade, that's what it is. The Hotel Moskva opened in 1908 and has hosted everyone from Alfred Hitchcock to Albert Einstein, as well as a host of Balkan royalty and international celebrities. And it features a Viennese-style cafe that's still a hotspot for Belgrade's movers and shakers. Well, and us, very shortly, where we hope to sample the famous Moskva Schnitt cake. That's the famous cake on the front there. It's like being back in Vienna again with all the kind of...
Famous original Moscow hotel cake with French buttercream, sour cherries, pineapple, peaches, covered with sliced almonds.
My goodness.
Oh, there's other cakes though.
Yeah, there is. And they all look very fancy. So while we wait for our cakes and, well, I've got a local Serbian beer come in, and you've got a mint tea.
Yes.
It says in the book here that lots of people have been here.
Yes.
Most famously being Luciano Pavarotti.
It was the first time he played outside of Italy. He was in Belgrade before he became famous.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it was here.
Also, I'm not reading this, honestly, it's from memory. During his stay, well, they can't see I'm reading it because I've got sunglasses on.
Well, I know what you're going to say. If you're going to talk about Albert Einstein, she told us about that on our tour this morning, that he was married to a Serbian lady. So,
that's right.
Yes.
During his stay in Serbia, the home country of his wife, one of our frequent guests was none other than Mr. Albert Einstein himself. Our presidential suite bears his respected name. Look, that's the hotel's signature cake. You can see on the picture, does it look like the picture? Does it look like the picture? Yeah, it does, actually. And I've got the chocolate one. I'm going to try a bit of this cake. Sorry, I can't wait any longer. So, if you come to Belgrade, come to the Hotel Moscow, have a bit of cake, enjoy. All right. This is Rich and Helen, all visiting with us in Belgrade. Back to the studio. Back on the ship, Helen decided to try to work off her Moskva Schnitt in the pool, giving the swim trainer a run for its money, while I pondered. I do that quite a lot. It's actually quite amazing how quickly you adjust to the width of this ship being twice as wide. And you think, yeah, you kind of grow into it, and it becomes the norm. And then all of a sudden, you see a ship that's a normal width, and you think, oh my giddy aunt, it's so narrow. But up to a few days ago, that was the norm. Back in our suite, we were informed that tonight was our booking at the chef's table. AmaMagna's top dining experience, accompanied by this scroll containing the menu. Our pre-dinner cocktails were also rather special tonight, as we had a rather distinguished guest on board for the night. AmaWaterways co-founder and executive vice president, Kristen Karst, who gave a little talk and then mingled with guests. We even got a crafty pic with her and the captain. One for the Visit With Us album, eh? Then, with a nice cold martini at our side, it was time to reveal what we were having at the chef's table. Reveal the scroll. Right, so what do we have here? It's in several courses.
The chef's welcome with their ricotta lime mousse and olive crumble.
Okay.
And then we get the taste.
Get
which is
the
obviously
taste.
like a starter, which is a king prawn ceviche with chili and mango salsa.
Whoa. And then
we have
tease the senses.
Which is obviously the soup course.
The soup
So
course.
coconut and curry soup.
Ooh.
Sounds interesting. Then we have the fish course.
Hang on. From the rivers.
From
I have
the
to
rivers.
do the title, so.
Pan-fried Atlantic halibut with quinoa, spinach and a saffron sauce.
And then sorbet.
Sorbet. A cassis sorbet with sparkling wine. Nice.
Great. And then country spirit.
Which is obviously the main. Argentinian beef sirloin with herb gnocchi.
Porcini Joss.
I like gnocchi. And then from heaven, I like that. The dessert is called from heaven. A dark chocolate souffle with a chocolate macaron and a mango sorbet. That sounds delicious.
From heaven. Bring it on. So, cheers to you and your good self. Although we were pretty full from dinner, we couldn't resist another fantastic folklore show of music and dance. We nearly made it to the end, but both bailed with about 10 minutes to go, struggling to keep our eyes open, despite the rather penetratingly screechy singing emanating from the dancers. What another fantastic day on the Lower Danube. If you're enjoying this video and are interested in booking an AmaWaterways cruise, our preferred travel partner is Panache Cruises, the elite ocean, expedition, river and yacht-style cruise specialists. The multi-award-winning team at Panache has decades of combined knowledge and experience in finding the right cruise for you. Your personal cruise connoisseur will help you with every aspect of your voyage. No question too big, no detail too small. Visit their beautiful website and make your next dream cruise, like the one we took on AmaMagna, a reality. Oh, and please don't forget to mention Visit With Us when you call, because it helps support the running of this channel at absolutely no cost to you. And we also often have exclusive treats and rewards for you just for being part of the Visit With Us family. Thank you. Let's get back on board. Well, good morning from Novi Sad, and we going on the bikes today. Looking like a lovely day, and we haven't got long. We've got to be back by 10:30. As you can tell, this isn't a fashion accessory, it's a practical one. Our first bike excursion of the voyage. We're going to do about 10k, I think, around the city. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And we're off. Oh no, I can see Helen through my rear view mirror. The first stop of the day at this statue. This is the university campus of Novi Sad. Helen wanted to slow down on that bit. Roll eye emoji. Oh, look at the street art. Lovely. Love me a bit of street art. This is nice, isn't it? Slalom through here like a downhill skier. Yeah, not with one hand, I'm not. There it is, the sign. Novi Sad. It's not Novi Sad at all, it's Novi Very Happy. Isn't it? Should rename the city. Novi Happy. Little old Norwich at the top there, well, fourth down. Our home city. Twinned with Novi Sad. Oh, and Shiraz, look. It's really twinned with a wine. That'll do. Now, it is a well-known fact that Ed Sheeran spent several years busking on the streets before he became mega famous. Just imagine 50 years later if he didn't become famous. He could have been this guy. And coming to the end of our cycle ride now, and going through the park, which is absolutely gorgeous. And here we are, the beautiful AmaMagna. She's as wide as I feel after a week of cruise ship food. Well, what do you think of that then?
Very good.
Great, wasn't it? It feels like lunchtime, but it's only 10:30. Ah, tragedy! Well, welcome to lunchtime at the Al Fresco restaurant, because we are sailing now. We've left Novi Sad and heading for our next destination. And you can guess what we're going for. Cheeseburgers are so good. Really impressive. Below the calories. In fact, there's no calories on a cruise, is there? They're all exempt. We have a weakness for desserts today. Is that Serbian cheesecake?
It is. No, Croatian is.
A Croatian cheesecake. Hmm. Ilok, a charming medieval town of just 5,000 people, perches peacefully on the banks of the Danube. Its highlights: a fortress, a Franciscan church, and a wine cellar older than some countries. We had a quick look around the church, the rather wonderfully titled Church and Monastery of St. John of Capistrano in Ilok, dating back to 1349. But Ilok's winemaking roots run deeper than that by some margin, back to the 3rd century BC, when Roman Emperor Probus broke Roman law forbidding grape cultivation outside Italy. He rightly decided that the Danube hillsides, with their perfect soil and climate, were worth the rule breaking. Well, this ultimately led to his untimely assassination, but that's another story. A short drive away, Principovac Estate, once the summer home of the Odescalchi family, an incredibly powerful dynasty in the region in the 17th century, and now serves as the crown jewel of Ilok Podrumi's vineyards. This castle-like estate is surrounded by the exclusive Principovac single vineyard, producing some of the winery's finest bottles. But as stunning as Principovac is, it wasn't even the highlight of our sunny afternoon. That title belongs to the old cellars of Ilok Podrumi's back in town, Croatia's most celebrated winery. These cellars, dating back to the 15th and 18th centuries, hold not just wine, but a treasure trove of history. How prestigious is their wine? Well, let's just say it's fit for royalty, literally. In 1953, Queen Elizabeth II's coronation feast featured 11,000 bottles of Ilok Podrumi's 1947 Tramina. Recently, the winery provided wine for the marriage of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and for King Charles III's coronation. We meandered through the 100-metre-long cellar, its 5 centuries of history etched into the walls, coated with noble black mould. Ugh. Our guide pointed out a rack of bottles encrusted with mould and dust, announcing, "We still have 282 bottles of the 1947 Tramina. Fancy one? Just $7,500. After some polite laughter and a quick wallet check, we decided to pass. Nearby, massive casks towered over us, each filled with 150,000 litres of wine, all aging gracefully for our future and maybe future royal pleasure. What a brilliant afternoon! One of the dining experiences we must mention is breakfast in the main restaurant, because it's such a lovely experience. There's always a special of the day and a fully featured menu from which to order something these lovely people will make fresh for you. Also, there's always an immaculate and delicious looking display of help yourself items if you fancy a bit of pick and mix. Good morning, it's the last day, and we've decided not to get off the ship today. We're going to enjoy the ship a bit more. And what we're going to do is go up on deck while it's nice and quiet and play some pickleball. First river ship to have a pickleball court on board. That's the only ship wide enough, I think. So we're coming up to the top deck right now, and there it is. Ta-da! So what do we have here?
A bat.
We have a bat. It looks like a paddle tennis bat. No strings attached, of course. What? No, you can start. We can have a warm-up, shall we? Let's see if this works, shall we? Here we go. Yeah. I'm having a few problems with the wind. It's coming this way, so every time I bat it, the ball is not going over there, so I have to hit it really hard. Why does it always come over to this corner? Well, how did you find your pickleball?
Oh, it's fun. I think I smashed it.
You think you won, did you?
I do. We don't know how to play it, so we didn't.
We don't know what scoring is, but apparently it's a mixture of badminton, tennis and paddle tennis.
Which is how we were playing it, really. We were just
scoring it like that as well.
It was
complete
just
mishmash.
Yeah, as long as you got the ball over the net, it was fine.
That's good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
It's good exercise as well.
So-
We've been at home about 20 minutes and I'm absolutely knackered, so yeah, it's good exercise.
Time for a brew, don't you think?
I think so.
Hey, let's go. We've been invited to the captain's table tonight, so we are dining with the captain, and so that's a privilege. The Danube is looking spectacular tonight as we sail in to Budapest. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? Then came the customary crew parade, which always astounds me just how many brilliant people there are living on this ship, making a huge difference to our experience. Bravo to each and every one of them. Then the captain's stand-up routine had us all in stitches. To cap it all off, the captain's hosted table was such a great way to complete this memorable cruise. I didn't film much of it out of respect for fellow guests, but it goes without saying. The evening was such good fun. Hello, Captain. Hello, Cruise Manager. The AmaMagna is without a doubt a stunning ship delivering a river cruise experience that ranks amongst the absolute best. From the world-class food, as you've seen throughout this vlog, to the top-tier excursions and impeccable service, has been nothing short of exceptional. Now, we know some viewers might say, well, you're always so positive, where's the critique? But honestly, why go hunting for problems when they don't exist? If there's nothing to gripe about, we're not about to invent issues just for the sake of so-called balance. High-end cruising doesn't get much better than the week we've just spent sailing the Danube. Every moment has been a reminder of what we suspected before stepping aboard. AmaWaterways is one of the best in the river cruise business, and the AmaMagna is undoubtedly its crown jewel. If you're itching for a closer look at this double-wide marvel, we've got you covered. We recommend you check out our detailed guide here, but don't take our word for it. It's currently the most popular AmaMagna video on YouTube. Humble brag, fully intended. Enjoy!